Beep, 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 boop.
Yo-ho, lads, it's me, Craig, on me. Great big yacht that I stole from Navy Pier. I'm taking my beer and my best friend Don. We're gonna ride the 7 seas with our best friends. It is Freak and Scummy on board with us. Join us on this expedition. Hopefully, there is no storms.
Storms?
Yeah,
A Bruin?
the black lady with white hair.
Oh! Stormy Monroe.
No, from the X-people.
Aurora X-Man.
Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, that's her. She eats herself. She goes down on herself.
Yeah, she Ouroboroses herself.
Because she's got no spine.
Yeah, she certainly doesn't. It was surgically removed and replaced with plexiglass.
Yeah, good for her, too. Now she has, like, double the mutant powers.
Mm-hmm.
She can just do, like, weather stuff and do all these tumbles and all this yoga.
She's kind of like a human surfboard, so they just kind of, like, thwap her on top of people.
Thwap, like a door stopper, like when you like flick that thing up.
Exactly like that. She can't use the powers too much because she gets nauseous after being hit once. Like you smack her and then she just goes, "Guys, help! Please stop!"
Right. And you need to feed her some Dramamine and shit.
You feed her some Drano.
Maybe Xavier does. When he wants to be rid of her.
He regularly waxes her to make sure that she's nice and sheen and ready for the
probably
the sick
Xavier.
waves.
That's probably Xavier's like trump card. You know what I mean? Like his ace in the hole is that whenever he gets really tired of a mutant, and it's like secretly he just gets completely just exhausted from all that, like, oh, we're all equal and I'm saving everybody and like all the humanity and stuff. He probably just at night he wheels quietly into one of their rooms and just pours Drano into their open mouths, and he's like, "Yep, no
This
more
is
problem."
what you get for not listening to me during lectures.
And he gives them terrible dreams all the while he's like pulling in, while he's wheeling into the thing, just to really to twist the knife a little bit.
The real punishment, like forever nightmares.
Yeah, he's like, "You drove me to
If
this."
you fail your algebra test again, Iceman, you won't be waking up from this.
Right, forget suspension, forget not graduating. You're getting perma-nightmares. All for your life.
You're stuck in the nightmare realm, Iceman. You must answer these riddles 3.
Yeah, and speaking of the nightmare realm, we're not there. We're in the regular world.
Yeah, we're on a boat.
Yeah.
I stole this.
And how about this? Like sitting here in the harbor, like just floating on these Michigan waves. Like this is really fun.
Smell that fresh spring air.
Oh, the spring air. All the hot dog wrappers from Wrigley. Smelling some. I smell feet. I smell like a lot of like feet.
You should
seawater.
aim your nose higher. Don't aim it so low.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're kind of bending down. You want to take a big whiff in the air. I can smell the seagulls flying over us.
That is nice.
They're gulling around.
Are you doing that because we're on the water?
Aye.
That is nice. Is that why you have the eye patch too?
Aye.
Great.
And it's not because I have pink eye.
Okay, good. Because last time you had pink eye, I got it too. We were wrestling around. It was all fun. And then we both got poop particles in our eye, and then it was pink. So it's not that, is it?
Nope. I was just poked because I was trying to steal this boat.
Okay, great. Well, then in that case, today we are the boat car buddies instead of the boxcar buddies, which we normally are.
We're just the boat buddies.
Yeah, I guess there's no car on the boat.
Tugboat buddies.
Tugboat buddies. Hey, what's up, tugboat buddies?
Tug buddies. Whoop whoop. Yeah, do it again.
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah, don't look at us, okay? We knew we were doing that. We did it on purpose.
Moving.
And we're not leaving the harbor. I don't think we have any gas in this thing. We're just floating on it, okay?
I am not a fan of this.
Freak, why?
You robbed a boat.
We didn't rob the boat. We robbed a person who possessed a boat, and now the boat is being utilized by us currently. We're not going to keep this. All right, listen, can you stop doing that? We told you we're recording something, and this microphones pick up all the audio.
Why do you think I put the duct tape on you?
We said we'd be finished in 2 hours tops. We have to record this, which takes an hour, and then there's the party. So let's just be quiet, and maybe you can get some scraps after the party's done. Because, Freak, thank you very much, by the way, for bringing the Cheez-Its and the drinks.
Yes, because I thought this was a rented yacht. I didn't think that this was... I feel like we're on Captain Phillips.
No, it's nothing like that. This is
No,
a lake.
you great big pussy.
This is a lake, first of all, okay? I'm pretty sure Captain Phillips was an ocean thing.
Look, we can still see the city, like we're right there.
We're right here.
And we'll give it back.
We said we're gonna give it
just
back.
wanted an exotic place to record other than just a tin or wooden boxcar, depending on the day.
Well, and because Greg, as we said, Greg and I decided we wanted to do something special for our 6-month anniversary. It's been 6 months since we've been putting up these episodes.
That's why we brought you and Scummy along, our two best friends.
Yeah, that's why we invited both you guys, and we needed a boat. We needed something a little special, and that is where this inspiration came from.
And we needed rum for some pina coladas.
Yeah, all right, and that's why I said I'm making these over here, but I didn't know you were robbing someone either. All right. Just go ahead and flip the blender on. We don't need to be lectured by both you and Freak. Do you guys want to party, or do you not want to? Yeah, all right, I got you, man.
I kind of wanted to party. It's been very stressful.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Freak. All right, Scummy, go ahead and fire that blender up. Let's get some of these pina coladas going.
Yeah, so while you guys are off making drinks, Don, why don't we catch up on what we've been keeping ourselves entertained with?
Ooh, I like where your head's at, my man. I like how we're going to keep this thing moving. What do you got?
Well, I happen to play the latest in the God of War series.
What?
The God of Boy for PS4.
The God of Boy?
The God of Boy.
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 Am I excited to hear about this? Tell me about Kratos. What's he been up to?
He's been fucking around in the woods for, I guess, like a decade and
Apparently.
a half.
Where did the kid come from? His family died, I thought.
He found a new woman that said, "Woman, I must impregnate you." And then you had to press circle, square, circle, and then you had to do a half rotation.
Those mini games, and then you'd make them
and
orgasm.
then you had to mash R1 until the baby was made.
Yes, and all the red orbs popped out, and then you collected those, and then the baby just went off.
Yeah, well, too many of those red orbs flew out of his now dead wife. So, the beginning of the new God of War for PS4. It's well past God of War 3, and we're not really given a whole lot of insight about what has happened in between Kratos jumping from Mount Olympus after murdering the entire Greek pantheon. Everyone.
Yeah.
No one was left.
Nope.
To his now new wife's funeral. And right off the bat, I can say this game is fucking stunning to look at.
Oh, visually,
it is absolutely gorgeous.
Like the scale of the monsters.
The scale of the monsters, the environments, the textures, they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Kratos, a little too textured.
Really?
He looks like he has, like, his skin looks like it's made of pumice.
Oh.
Like it's used to chip
Porous?
away pumice.
Yeah, but like his skin is porous, like it's got the holes
it's bumpy.
in it.
It's bumpy looking.
Right, like you could use Kratos to scrape
grate
dead
cheese.
skin off
Yeah.
of somebody else.
Yeah, he's very ashy. And I'm not saying that because his
the ghost of
dead
Sparta.
wife
Right.
and daughter are permanently attached to his body.
Right, it's not just that.
Which made sex with his new wife very awkward. Like, why are you white all over? Don't do that. That was where my daughter's
mood.
That's where my daughter's nose is.
Sorry, I left another stain on you.
Damn it, Kratos. This is why we're divorcing. This is why I'm dying. Is that what happened?
Yeah, she's dead. She's dead as a doorknob.
That sucks. And he's left with a boy.
He's left with the boy. The way that the story's told is that Kratos and Atreus barely saw each other at his wife Faye's request. As a child, he was very sickly, so his mom said, "I'm going to take care of him a lot at home. Do the hunting. Do all the manly man stuff. Help build our house because you are impossibly strong.
Right. Build a great house.
Which did not raise any alarms with Atreus, because the big thing that Kratos wants to do is come across that he is a demigod to Atreus. But Atreus knows nothing of his godhood. He knows nothing of his past. He doesn't even know he's from Greece. I don't even think he knows his father's true name.
Really? Just Dad?
That's how secretive Kratos wanted to be.
Dad?
And Kratos' entire character development is learning to put his hand on his son's shoulder. Boy, I can't do this right now because it's not 20 hours into the game.
Put his hand on his son's shoulder and shove him forcefully over the side of a cliff in the forest.
You must learn, boy.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, so I can praise the look, the presentation, and the music. The music is phenomenal. It's full of a lot of like deep choruses. Where there's one female vocal. I think that's supposed to represent Kratos' wife. It's used very sparingly, so when it's actually used, it has a lot of weight to it. I also love the big booming like blah blah or whatever any Nordic words that they're using.
Oh yeah.
Because this game takes place in Midgard.
Okay.
It takes place right in the center of the Nine Realms.
Right.
If you're a fan of Nordic
Yeah.
mythology.
Yeah. They've switched now from the original trilogy of God of War was Greek mythology focused, Greek and Roman.
But because Kratos
Killed
literally
all of them.
killed all of Greece. Greece is gone.
Right. This fourth God of War game kicks off a new round of mythology where Kratos is now working through Norse mythology.
Yeah. Now that I've gotten the things that I really like out of the way, I don't like anything else about the game.
Really?
I think the story thinks that it's deep and emotional, and it's just not. Because one of the biggest problems with this game is that it wants to try and be very serious with its tone, with its relationship of Kratos and Atreus, and Kratos like learning to forgive himself for being a giant piece of shit.
Right.
And it doesn't work because the combat is still goofy and over the top. Not to mention, this is in fucking Midgard. It's
Right.
magic bullshit everywhere. Your third main character who travels with you the entire game is a talking head attached
gosh.
to your belt.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
you can't expect me to think this is serious.
Right, exactly. You can't have a heartfelt, deep moment between father and son.
When there's a fucking head attached to his belt.
Exactly, yeah.
It's moments like that where I think the story thinks it's deep, and it's not. It's honestly generic as shit.
Right. Speaking of deep, here's your pina colada, man.
Oh,
yours,
thanks,
Don.
man.
Let's get some of these Cheez-Its going here.
Dope. Dude, it's in a pineapple.
Wow, this is great. Thanks for bringing the pineapples, man. And I love how everything's white for Ghost of Sparta themes. You guys really brought this up. This is really nice.
Yes, I even imbued it with real ghosts.
Wait.
Why you did that?
Because they were talking about ghosts, and I figured, these ghosts want to be bored, so
Oi.
why don't we give them one last trip, and then they can ascend to the afterlife.
Yeah, all right. I see where you're coming from there. But if you're gonna be introducing spirits into my alchemy, if I'm gonna be making the drinks and you're going to be hunting them, you got to be telling me that first, man. You've messed with the composition of this drink here.
I deeply apologize. I just figured it would be cool.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're going to give me yours now, and I'm going to drink both of them, and you can have the regular one. You can have what's left in the blender there. You go ahead and drink your own ghosts, all right?
All right.
All right, Scummy. Just take it easy, man. I'm sure it tastes just fine. Thank you, Freak. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, that's boy, it's a interesting.
Whoa! Oh, jeez. Oh my God, Craig, a face just imprinted into your neck.
Oh. Yeah, that's just the spirit. Very excited. He will go once you finally urinate.
Thanks, Freak.
I'm going to go ahead and re-side with Scummy on this one. You really should have let everybody know that you were going to bring ghosts into our alcoholic beverages.
It's moaning in pleasure, too.
Oh, good lord. It's like, it's pulsating. Like the face is like gyrating in your neck there.
Freak, why would you do this to me?
Actually, that looks disgusting. I've totally lost my appetite here. Don, why don't you go ahead and drink mine? Yeah, okay.
Can I get a replacement, or is it just too late for me?
Do we only have ghost-haunted drinks here? Did you bring, like, non-haunted alcohol? Do we have other stuff for the party?
I thought that I would bring this rum. It actually has real pirate ghosts attached to it.
Yeah, all right.
That explains the vor fetish, but
Right, definitely.
I still have a face boil on my neck.
Tell you what here. Go ahead. You can all drink that haunted stuff there. I brought some of my special absinthe. That's what I've been making for the last 3 years up in my high-rise, right? So I've got this bottle of absinthe right here. I've got sugar cubes. We're going to be doing this stuff over here. So I'm going to scoop these. I'm going to get these all prepped. And if you want to keep drinking your haunted drinks, we can. But I'm going to make 4 of these.
It's fucking too late for me. I've already got one in me, so I might as well bring the rest of the crew in.
Yeah, and I guess, it doesn't look terrible. I'm going to go ahead and pound this. And Scummy, you keep doing what you're going to do, though, because I do want to try some absinthe.
Can I have a normal drink?
No, fuck you.
Yeah, you've blown it, mate. You've blown it with
You
your
get, like,
haunted
sewer
choices.
water, freak.
Yeah, go ahead,
Dick.
go ahead and scoop your glass into the lake there, and you take a drink of that.
I thought today was gonna be fun.
Oh, freak. You don't bring ghosts to the party, man. Not without checking with people first. It's really
Yeah,
kind
really.
of a faux
It
pas.
was our party. You're supposed to check if it's okay to bring guests.
It's a big faux pas. It really is. But anyway, cool. So God of War disappointing, though? It sounds...
It's disappointing because not only is the story just not good, it's fine. Like, it's aggressively fine. Combat doesn't feel good either.
See, that was my biggest... Because I'm a big fan of the original God of War trilogy. I love those games to death. I
Yeah.
played the hell out of them when they first came out. And
I did too. I'm a huge...
Love
I remember
them.
getting the original God of War on PS2 when it first came out, and
Same.
just having my mind fucking blown.
It was unlike anything I'd ever played.
It was so over the top, violent, and just... It had such a great way of setting its mood and its tone. It had memorable boss fights.
Unapologetic in its violence. And the mythological characters, the way that Kratos got to weave through some of the
And
favorite
murder
myths.
them.
Oh, it was great.
And
so much
that's
fun.
something I've always found fun about Kratos is that he's not a likable character.
No, he's the definition of an anti-hero. He's the kind of guy you're like, if you find yourself rooting for him, you don't like it. You know what I mean? Like
If you find yourself rooting for Kratos, you might be a psychopath.
Right. No, but I mean, like,
This is a dude who kills a monster. He kills a Hydra just to climb into its throat to find the boat keeper to take his key from him, and instead of pulling him up, he fucking drops him.
Yes. And how about the, what was it, in God of War 2, I think? There's the guy that you keep meeting in the underworld, like a guy that you've killed, and then...
That's the same person.
Same guy.
It's the boat guy. He returns in all 3 games as a soul, and he's like, what the fuck?
Kratos keeps torturing that guy, like, keeps pounding him down into Hades. Like, it's brutal. But the thing that's so great about it has always been the combat. Like, it's just such a fun game. And I knew from the trailers of this 4th game that the combat system looked like it was different.
It's very different. So it acts like it wants you to do a lot more methodical thinking of your attacking. So it wants to be more like a Dark Souls or The Last of Us. It wants you to really think about, like, honing in on your targets. The downside to that, though, is it still clutters you with enemies like the old game. So you're still getting bombarded by like 7 or 8 monsters at once. And the worst part about that, too, is because the camera is so closed in on Kratos, what they had to do is that the combat feels like Resident Evil 4, where you have to do quick turnarounds. But with Resident Evil 4, that matched the gameplay because it was a horror game and enemies moved slowly.
Yes.
So you had time to actually move around and get away from enemies. Yeah, you still had a bit of tank controls. That's because you're supposed to be scared. You're supposed to feel like, oh shit, maybe I'm not going to get out of this situation.
Right.
God of War is an action game.
Yes.
And to have, just your son non-stop scream, "Father, behind you!" at every instance, or you get, a little red arrow when you're already being bombarded by, 6 things in front of you, it doesn't work. It's too much going on at once.
Right, and
for as little view as you get. And the little view that you get also doesn't help with understanding the scope that you're in, because I remember almost every set piece from the original games. I remember going to Rhodes and being huge and fighting the actual statue. I remember going through the Labyrinth of Pandora. I remember storming Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
I remember these locations because they're big and grandiose.
Absolutely.
And the camera purposely moves back so you can actually see and hear,
get a feel for that.
what is happening in this world, because they literally want to condense the story down to being a father-son story.
Ugh.
They also condense down the visuals. So it's very hard to see around in some locations when you actually get free movement. In your hub area, you get boats and you can actually row around. But they act like glorified loading screens sometimes for if you want to go to different areas in Midgard.
And the game is a one-shot game, right? So I know that there are times from what I've read that's exactly right. Things happen on screen, you'll be rowing a boat or you get into an area, and it's you can tell as the player that it's just disguising the loading screen.
Pretty much.
You're literally only doing this thing so that the game can load, and yet there's no cutaway.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine because there are some times where you'll find a little patch of area you can jump off and grab a piece of treasure or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that also leads into the RPG elements that I just don't like at all.
Yeah.
Because the worst part about this game with its equipment system is, so you have 3 pieces of armor. And you have little slots where you can equip little gemstones that you can buy or find.
Sure.
They all give you stat increases, but stat increases don't fucking matter as long as your big level number goes up or down.
Oh, really?
So I played around with this for a while. You have a big number. This is your level. This is the level that Kratos is. I think the max he can be is 8, 9. Maybe it can go further. After I finished the story, I was I don't
Done
care.
with it. Yeah.
I don't care. I found a piece of equipment that lowered all of my stats. It gave me no benefits, but it made my level higher.
Ah.
And I'm why?
Right.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Your level should increase if you have better stats.
Yeah.
So once you get better equipment with better stats, then your higher number goes up. What it's looking at is the legendary status of your items.
I see.
Borderlands used to do this too, where
yeah.
you have colored equipment. So if it's green, that means it's basic as hell. Don't use it.
Right.
Whereas if it's orange, that means it's fucking high tier. You want that because it gives you the best perks.
Right.
And it's a good thing that the game doesn't keep you in your menu a lot, which I was really afraid of after finding out of the RPG elements and of crafting and buying and finding equipment and shit. If you actually want to find the materials, you don't really have to grind for them, but you have to do side quests.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that this game does side quests is very Metroidvania, where you have to progress the story so that you can get the story-related puzzle items and weapons in order to open chests and shit. As you get further in the story, more areas open up in Midgard, but there are 3 big points. When you first get to the center of Midgard, The water lowers, and there's a bunch of like little tiny islands you can go to do some side quests. But a lot of them require you to do a lot of story stuff. And it causes a lot of like wasted time of going to this area, seeing what there is, and I can't go any further because I have to have a fucking treasure. So I have to leave,
Frustrating.
do the story, and then come back.
Yeah.
And there's no fast travel until halfway into the game.
Oh my god.
So you can't immediately go back to where you remember there was a treasure until you actually get to the midworld. It's poorly done.
Yeah.
It's pace breaking. There's so
sounds
much
very frustrating on a lot of fronts. There.
I think I don't like that this game is 30 hours long. It's 30 hours.
Yeah.
Compared to the original games, which can take 8.
Yeah.
At most 10.
Yeah.
If you actually like grind and look around for like items that you forgot like your first time in an area.
Right.
This time around, it's like it's so long and all for the wrong reasons. For a story I don't really care about. For treasure hunting that overall doesn't really matter unless you get like an orange piece of equipment. Overall it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
At all. Like I said, it's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
It might be one of the best looking games I have ever played.
And that's fair, and that makes sense because again, like this is for the PS4 and the whatever the next generation of the PS4 is for the LED TVs, the OLED ones that are supposed to
For
be
your
in
PS4 Pro.
Yeah, for gaming in 4K and like all that. I understand that now newer games are meant to be on the next level of visualization. And it's also like it's the kickoff to, I'm imagining, another trilogy of God of War games. That's what it's meant to be. Like,
yeah. I won't spoil the ending. Oh, God, fuck off with this ending. It's a very anticlimactic ending that does a lot of maybe next time you'll see this.
Right. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Also, for friendos who want to start playing this, get used to fighting the same 5 bosses.
Ugh, come on.
You have to fight the same trolls with big stone slabs like 6 times. You have to fight stone guardians like 8 or 9 times. And then you fight the big bad antagonist 2 times. It's just a lot of recycled bosses.
Oh, wow.
There is one boss that was of its own. Like, it is the only of its kind. And it was cool. I liked it. I'm like, okay, this is different, and it's a big, obnoxious enemy that I'm like, yeah, this is what I love about God of War. Fighting something that's just too big.
Huge.
It's the only one, though.
That's a bummer. That's a real bummer.
I'd say there's one boss fight I really liked where you actually fought human characters. But overall, I think your first fight with the stranger at the very beginning of the game is the height that the boss characters go.
Wow.
Because it's zany, it's very over the top because both you and the character you're fighting are gods. So, like, this dude is sending you, like, he's cracking mountains.
Nice.
Fucking moving stone walls to try and crush you and shit. And it's so great, and I was so excited to fight more like him.
Yeah.
And you don't. You fight a fucking troll with a stone slab over and over and fucking over. There's only one variation of that boss I like because he can turn invisible. But that didn't stop it from being the same fucking enemy. It had the same attacks.
It's really unfortunate to hear this because again, it's like, if you're kicking off a new trilogy or you're moving a favorite game series into this next generation, it's understandable that you're going to change things like this, system of the game, the story arc.
Yeah,
like,
and that doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
it's just that.
But
I feel like if they were going to make a new God of War make a new main character.
Well, yeah, exactly. And the thing is that like the danger in when you do those changes, when you decide to move an old favorite into this new generation, when you decide to make those changes, it's always really disappointing to the fans when the changes that are made alter what made the series great in the first place.
Yeah.
And it sounds to me from your description like they kind of, some of the things, like with the bigness and all that.
You know what they honestly did? They made it generic. They made it like any other AAA title game. It feels like The Last of Us.
You know, and that,
It tries very hard to be The Last of Us.
And that's what it looked like from the trailers, like just from the viewpoints and like all that. And that's
The
what I was
story
so
beats,
that's what I
like-
was so worried about. Is that I'm like, look, I understand changing the engine. If that's what you're going to take from The Last of Us, that's fine. But when I see Kratos in these trailers, like using a one-handed axe and throwing it around or whatever, my first thought as a player is
like Thor's hammer.
yeah. But my first thought as a player is, where the fuck are the Blades of Chaos? You know what I mean? Like that. That is what I want to see from Kratos. You know.
No spoilers.
Yeah, don't. But still, look, my point is just that, like, if you're going to change things, don't change what drew people to the series in the first place.
I don't agree with that statement because, like, look at the Final Fantasy series.
Yeah, 15 Blue. It sucks. Nobody likes it.
But look at the games before it. There are a lot of games that are completely different from others. Look at 6 and look at 7, and then look at 8.
Yeah.
Those are completely different games.
I would
they
agree.
Act differently.
I would agree, but
So
Final Fantasy
change-
is an outlier, I think. I
like,
really do.
If for any series, it's fine if you want to like fuck around and try something new, but what they tried to do, which is quote unquote new, isn't new. It's the AAA gaming space right now.
Right.
It's like any other AAA big name like feels storyline that's been out for the last like 4 or 5 years.
Right.
There's nothing separating it from the others except that it has gods and wackiness, but it doesn't go full wacky and it doesn't go full serious.
Yeah.
It's this middle of the road that doesn't really take any chances at anything.
Yeah. That's it's disappointing, and I don't want to say that like I feel like that's happening with a lot of franchises now, because there's things that come out, there's games and movies that come out that are different still, but like just bringing up Final Fantasy, hearing this now about God of War, people do these, they water down a game and a story, and they water down these things to try and make it more mass appealing. And that is exactly my point. When you do that, you risk diluting some of what made it great and original in the first place.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm talking about when I say don't change the recipe that makes it what it is.
Not to
Tweak
mention,
it.
like, you really think that God of War didn't have an enormous fucking audience? That ever since its inception, I feel like Kratos started to become the poster child for PlayStation, because
Yeah.
you had 2 fucking, like, massive hits for the PS2. You make 2 spin-offs for the PSP that sold pretty well, and then you even make 2 games for the PS3. Both sold very well, even though no one likes Ascension.
Definitely, but
It's
you're
a
right.
game that who cares? But it's a huge series for Sony. As soon as they put God of War on the logo, they'll make the money.
Exactly.
That does, like, that... I don't know.
I know. Exactly. It's chasing these ethereal new players, but in exchange, you are betraying the original fans of it. What drew people to it in the first place?
Yeah.
That's where I think that the problems lie.
It's like taking Bayonetta and then turning it into, like, this really deep emotional story when it's fucking Bayonetta.
That's just not what it is. That's
you
not what
can't
people are
take
playing.
a character
it.
that is so well known for being over the top, because there's nothing, like, everything about Kratos is just angry. He's angry to the 10th degree.
Right.
All he does is scream.
Yeah, and the backstory that they give you, you understand why when you play those games. You're like, yes, this guy's just angry all the time.
And it's fucking out of the way in 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's done.
Right.
This one takes so fucking long for Kratos to finally put his goddamn hand on Atreus' shoulder to be, I am a god, and you are a god, and we must be better. Boy.
Yeah.
He will say boy a lot.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of.
There are jokes, but it's not a joke.
Yeah, he says
He
boy.
says boy a lot.
Well, okay, so sorry to hear that, man. God of War.
I wasn't excited going into it. I knew what I was going to get. I knew I was going to get this AAA fucking generic shit vanilla game.
Oh man,
It is very okay.
All right, well that's what you get, I guess. That's God of War. God of War 4 right there.
God of 4, God of Boy.
And take your pick, but don't go into it expecting the original trilogy style of greatness.
If you love The Last of Us, you won't like this because it's not good storytelling.
Really not making anybody very happy. It sounds like no fans of like any one of those series of games.
I don't even like The Last of Us, but it's still really well done, and it does do its storytelling very well. This does nothing. It does nothing.
Ah, that's a shame, man. That sucks. Well,
it's bogey.
But I will tell you, I watched something that I did not feel sucked at all. It's this new documentary series on Netflix. Scummy, actually, we were watching this together, weren't we? Yeah, you're talking about what the docu-series Evil Genius, yeah? Yeah, exactly. Evil Genius, yes, Freak. Scummy and I watched it on Netflix. It just came out within the last month. It's a 4-part docu-series. The episodes fluctuate from 40 to 50 minutes so less than the hour, so it doesn't feel like you're really overloaded. But it's about one of those, it's in the vein of Making a Murderer. It's in the vein of those true crime, mysterious, sort of No,
Stop
not
talking.
at all like that. And we said don't talk when the mics are on. Otherwise, you're going to get dumped over the side. You're going to get into the drink. Yeah, all right. Why don't you know what? Here, why don't you have the rest of my haunted pina colada here? Let me rip this off. Yeah, that's right. Dump it in there. That's right. Yeah, take it all. Don't fit. Yeah, good. Now the tape goes right back over your mouth there. Yeah, good. Enjoy that.
Quit crying, you fucking baby.
Thanks for that, Scummy. I appreciate it.
Freak, can you throw him in a closet or something?
I don't.
You
Come
owe
on,
me.
man.
You owe me. You see, there are 4 of these now. They're singing sea shanties in my brain.
Freak, do you see that? Do you see the puka shell necklace of ghost faces around Greg's neck? Do you see that? That's your fault. Pick up this hostage and move him into the... Put him in the galley, please. Put him in the galley.
Oh, all right.
Great. Okay, in the meantime, Evil Genius. Yeah, it's basically about this... what became known as like a pizza delivery bombing, or the pizza delivery bank robbery, or the collar bombing. Call it whatever you will, but in 2003, in a town of Erie, Pennsylvania, this
That's where I'm from.
no way,
Well, not from Erie.
but Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
good old PA.
PA, baby.
You ever been to Erie?
A couple times.
It looked like a nice small town,
it's a
but a
little
little
scary.
bit. Yeah, it looks a little off.
It's a little spooky.
Off. Yeah,
You could even say it's Erie.
don't say that. Don't you ever say that again.
What? Erie?
When you describe a town by its name, angels lose their dicks.
That's very eerie.
It is. But Erie Way, it's in this town, and this 40-some-year-old pizza delivery guy shows
Down
up
on his luck.
He basically
Has too much hair, not enough hair nuts,
not enough
and not
hair
enough
nuts.
garlic nuts
And not
to
enough
pass
orders.
around in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Not enough orders either to keep this pizza place afloat.
Why doesn't anyone want to eat my goddamn pizza?
Maybe because there's ghosts and hair on them. Herbert. Yeah, but
Sorry that I like a good haunting.
well, it's
Prick.
fine. It's fine. It is your business place, so whatever. But anyway, this guy, where the story starts is this guy shows up at a PNC bank at like 10 in the morning in 2003, and he's got this T-shirt on and something around his neck, and he hands the teller a note, and it's not a typical bank robbery note, like with some brief instructions that say, give me the cash in the drawer. This is like 2 pages of instructions.
It's a fucking
It's a
haiku of how much money.
It's a dissertation. It's a fucking thesis. Like, it's long for a bank robbery statement, right? So this guy puts this on the counter. The woman gives him the cash from the drawer. He takes it and his note and walks out. Cops are on the scene now. They point their guns at him. He sits down in the middle of the road. he seems to be a little confused about what to do. They call the bomb squad. They call people. There's this scene on a big roadway in Erie, Pennsylvania. Bunch of cop cars outside a bank pointing their guns at this guy sitting on the ground with a T-shirt on, asking for help and saying that that something's going to go off. About 20 minutes maybe go by. Bomb squad couldn't arrive. Whatever. News cameras are there. Everyone's got their cameras trained on the guy. Collar bomb goes off. Blows up. And it wasn't super huge, so like none of the cops died or anything. It was pretty much just this guy whose name was Brian Wells. So that's where...
I bet you he wasn't feeling well after that.
I don't think he was. Probably not. But anyway, that's where that's kind of like, all right, so there's this mystery, and cops were like, okay, well, what's the deal with... Why would someone rob a bank with a live explosive, and then it's like going to kill them? So they start looking into... what could have possibly happened. And basically this guy Brian Wells was delivering a pizza to a nearby site at the morning of the robbery. So that kind of starts like putting them on the trail. Still doesn't really lead them anywhere. Like a week or so later, another pizza delivery guy at that same place killed himself. And so they're like, it's this kind of a bizarre situation. Bank robbery gone wrong. Guy seemingly blows himself up with a collar bomb, and then one of his coworkers commits suicide or whatever. Later on, like this kind of dies down. A couple of months later, someone calls to 911 that there is a body in a freezer located in a house not 2 miles from that bank, the pizza where the pizza was dropped off, and all of this questionable
some kind
area.
Of weird pizza conspiracy.
There, let's just say there was, and I don't want to
Let's
it's
just
bizarre.
say that there wasn't enough toppings on this pizza.
Let's just say his pepperoni was fried. But yeah, okay, so. It's a bizarre thing, and I'm not going to I couldn't even get into it. We could be sitting here for the next, 2 hours. I don't think I could explain it, in detail.
Overly complicated this pizza man did to murder.
This story is bizarre. There's no... the pieces and the players
strange.
and how all weird, how everything's involved and ties together. It's really, really strange, but it's compelling. It's fascinating, and this 4-part documentary series, Evil Genius... It centers around this one woman who is involved in this whole plot, but it's just like Making a Murderer. It's questionable. The documentary presents evidence, and you're pretty sure where it ends up, but not 100% sure. Even though there's a ruling, even though people are sentenced, even though the case
they're trying
ends,
to get you into a middle ground about a pizza bomber.
Kind of, yeah, at least in terms of who is directly responsible. Was
he being controlled by the CIA? Was he being controlled by demons?
No, neither.
Was he being sung sea shanties until he couldn't breathe anymore?
No, wasn't that? Oh. But you'll have to watch and find out, and I would recommend that everybody does watch it because, I can't, like I said, I really can't even go into it very much anymore, but there's the way that the documentary came about is that this producer, of his own volition, he's in New York, and when the sentencing came down, he still wasn't satisfied. So he started communicating with this woman in jail via letters, and she corresponds back with him. And he spent 8 years in communication with this woman in order to get some kind of a confession or to bring more light and certainty into what led to the death of this guy Brian Wells. The real question turns out to be, was Brian Wells in on the robbery, or was he an innocent pizza delivery guy who was duped into being
this
bank robber?
His head.
Yeah.
And pepperoni.
Exactly. So that's kind of what the premise is of Evil Genius. And if I would, it's easy to burn through. Like I said, it's 4 episodes. Each is less than an hour. Me and Scummy burned through it in what was that, like less than an afternoon, right? Yeah, I'll probably say we burned through it around second tea time, right? We had lunch and we had second breakfast and we had second tea. So that was So
how many
3
teas
hours.
a day do you have?
It depends on the day, but we've at least three teas, yeah.
Damn, that's a lot of caffeine there, buddy. You sure you aren't getting any kidney stones?
Tell you what, I'm not sure about that, but I'll tell you, it's only I don't have caffeine in all of the tea, right? The first tea I've got is black, and then Earl Grey, and then at night is sleepy time tea, right? There's no caffeine in there. Yeah.
See, usually I just drink a lot of NyQuil.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that, man. Not every day.
Why not?
Because it's going to mess with your brain. It's chemicals in there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that one, Scummy. I think my man Greg here has probably been hitting that NyQuil for a long time.
No way. I've only done NyQuil when I want to.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, Evil Genius, Netflix. You're drinking NyQuil right now. Greg is pounding NyQuil right now, and I don't see why we all have these. Scummy just finished the absinthe drinks. We're about to pound some absinthe over the fucking sugar cubes right now.
Well, I'm trying to get these ghosties to fall asleepy.
Oh.
Yeah, because I can only hear, the entire discography for Flogging Molly before things just get a little too much. Which I don't know how they know about a current Irish punk band.
Yeah, I don't either. I guess music spans generations, though, and spans.
Ghosts have very easy access to Spotify.
Really?
Thanks.
I think you're talking about Spookify, Freak, because that's a music streaming service that's specific to ghosts.
My bad. I get a little tongue-tied right now.
It's okay.
I'm not really feeling myself.
We have been drinking a little bit. How you liking that absinthe there, my man?
It is pungent. I don't wish to drink too much of it because, I've been feeling a little lightheaded.
You start seeing some stuff if you do.
I mean, I already see the visions of past lives everywhere.
Yeah, I guess absinthe isn't probably your best path because you're already seeing some weird stuff. I like to drink it because I like to see the weird stuff, but I don't get to do that all the time.
And I like to drink.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Did it. Before we end the night, I did watch another movie with Freak.
Really? You guys watched the movie together?
Yeah, we did. I invited him out, and I figured, possibly me and Greg could hang out as friends once again.
That's good.
Only for him to once again blow up another hole in the Logan Theater.
Man,
that wall was asking for it.
An additional hole to the Logan Theater?
Yeah, it was for Theater 3, which is right next to Theater 2, which is where that big hole is.
Oh my gosh! So now there's two. Now there's two
they just flat out don't care. Like they looked at us and they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Fine.
This place is gonna get torn down anyway.
Okay. I don't wish for movie theaters to disappear.
I kind of do. Because I'm tired of listening to people eat popcorn or people to take fucking kids to
and how many people are staring at their phone screens in theaters now anyway? Let's be real.
I'm looking at my hand screen right now. I am so bored with this.
Yeah, why are you looking?
Oh, because I wanted to make sure that I had all the information right for this next movie I wanted to talk about.
Well, what is the movie?
It is called It Comes at Night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does it?
I mean, depends on the time of day and your area and location.
What is it? What are we talking about?
It comes.
Like Pennywise?
No. Just it.
Tim Curry?
No.
Georgie?
Just it. No, it's not Georgie.
Get out of here, Pennywise. What are you doing? Get back under the Lake Michigan.
Get back into your hole, monster clown.
Take your makeup, face, and wig. Get on out of here, you freak. I'm sweeping you up now. Get on, go.
God, you are ugly.
Wow.
He has
those teeth.
He has a big head, too.
Jeez.
Yeah, and my teeth are sharper, too, so, step it up, Pennywise.
Yeah. Yeah, yours are a lot better looking,
stop
too.
Grinning.
Yeah, I don't like looking at those, man. That's why I don't allow you in the house.
Why?
The plants don't like it either. Virginia told me she freaks out every time you smile at her.
I'm just trying to speak to her in a language that everyone understands. A smile.
I still don't think it's really not a smile. It's like a grimace or a scowl.
It's like looking at a great white shark but on land.
It's threatening. It's always threatening. It doesn't put people at ease.
Well, that's just rude.
Well, anyway, but it comes at night.
Before I was so rudely interrupted about my great smile.
What comes at night?
Well, It Comes at Night is a film about a kind of post-apocalyptic world where this very infectious disease has spread throughout the United States and probably the rest of the world.
Damn! Damn, girl, your disease is infectious. Boom, 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 boom. Like that? Like a party?
No, like a plague.
Oh.
Yeah, like you get big boils and you bleed from the eyes and face.
Yeah.
It's the hurty kind.
Not a fun kind.
No.
Epidemic, some might say.
Yeah, it's kind of an epidemic. So, this family, starring Joel Edgerton.
I like Joel Edgerton.
Yeah, him, his wife, and his son have holed up in their...
Hold up.
Yes, they hold up.
Okay.
In their house in like the middle of nowhere, and it's just about them trying to survive. And the entire movie is kind of like a paranoia trip about like you don't know who is around, who's in the house. You don't know if someone has ill intentions or not. And this is all done through the perspective of Joel's son, played by, let me see who this kid is. Kelvin Harrison Jr.
Kelvin.
It looks like the other things he's done is like Mudbound Weeks and The Birth of a Simon.
Okay, so he's.
I don't know what those are.
Mudbound is a Netflix movie, so it sounds like he's a.
Yeah, but the film is usually done through Kelvin's eyes, or his character Travis. Travis like has images of his grandfather, who at the beginning of the film, like to showcase how the disease like actually works. His grandfather has it, he's contracted it, and he's dying. So he deeply breathes. He's covered in these big nasty boils. Yeah, pretty much. He can't speak. He just looks like he's in constant pain. Can't stop sweating.
Ooh.
Kind of like you.
Shut your fucking hole.
Don't interrupt the reviews here, freak. Okay, just drink your drink.
I'm sorry.
All right, sorry, Greg. Continue.
Yeah, so I really like this movie. It's not for everybody because
Pandemic's not really popular.
This movie came out last year, and I know that a lot of horror movie fans fucking freaked because they thought that it was going to be a monster movie. They were excited to find out the monster.
It Comes at Night does imply that
there's some kind of monster.
Something's coming.
And I remember seeing the trailers because there's this like big focus on their front door, and the front door is a focus in the movie because it's the only thing keeping the disease out of their house. They've like sterilized their fucking house. So what comes at night is most likely the disease.
Oh, through the front door.
Or any
Or the
other
back door, I guess,
open, like an
window.
open window.
I see.
It could be even contracted from another human.
Can it be contracted in the daytime is the real question.
Yes. It can be contracted as soon as you're out in the light.
So it doesn't come at night at all. It comes anyway. It comes anytime.
That plays into the paranoia of the film. Like, because the son is so paranoid of his surroundings, about everything that's happening, because this is a world where, like, it's only him and his parents and pretty much no one else, that when other human characters start to come in contact with him, he's just like, I don't know if we can trust them because, I mean, this is a world where people, it's like...
They could be carriers.
People could be carriers.
Yeah.
They don't want to trust bringing in strangers because they could have the disease.
Totally. Tainted.
Yeah. It's done very well. The shots are great. I love how paranoid everything feels because the viewer doesn't exactly know who is what for like 90% of the movie. And it's very, very well made. The director, hold on, I gotta whip my hand out again.
Do it. Whip it out.
Yeah, the director, this is like his second movie, Trey Edward Schultz. He made this other movie that I've been very interested in seeing called Krisha. And it's about a grandmother who she's kind of like an ex-drug addict, and she's kind of like battling dementia, and it's her trying to get involved with her family again. This is a mega low-budget film, and it stars a woman actually named Krisha.
That makes it easy.
Was like, yeah, let's just do this.
Is she actually demented?
No. In real life, she is she's a pretty cool, normal person.
Okay.
But she's like a small actor. She hasn't really done a whole lot of
That big?
No, she's regular size.
Oh,
She's
okay.
human.
Oh, okay.
Like she's small and like,
small
the
rolls.
scope.
I see.
The scope.
Okay.
And this was like her first big name. Like I wouldn't say that it wasn't her first big name movie, but it was a movie that like exploded when it came out because of how low budget it was, and it was done almost exclusively online. And I'm very happy that this guy is making movies, and I'm very interested to see where he goes with it. Highly recommend it.
It comes at night.
It comes at night. Don't go into it thinking it's a fucking monster movie. It's not.
The It refers to a disease, and at night is a misnomer. Could really come at any time.
I'd say this movie is more for like artsy fartsy horror movie fans, though.
Also, anybody afraid of pandemics, diseases?
I'm afraid of the dark.
Are you?
Yeah, that's why I usually hang out with a bunch of Canadians around a bonfire.
Oh yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
You do. I never really asked about that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's kind of weird that you hang out with children.
Yeah.
I'll hang out with whoever I want.
Well, until they find out about your sex offender status, because
I mean, like, I didn't do it with children.
no, it
That's
was
wrong.
it was a total mistake. But I mean, you still
Listen,
you
it was
still on the registry.
It was a wardrobe malfunction.
Still on the registry.
It's very hard for me to have pants.
Did
Like,
you tell them though? Do you tell these kids around the bonfire that it happened?
I don't think that's necessary. Plus, it's in Canada. Like,
Who
cares?
You're right about that. That makes it. That is different. It's a whole border. It's a whole border.
I
Whole new set of laws
I
over there.
still don't. I'm not a fan of this.
Freak, you're a sex offender in your own right too, man. You are touching ghosts in all kinds of weird places, man, and they don't even know half the
need to
time.
be freed.
Yeah,
they
well,
know, of course.
Did they ask you to touch them and free them in the way that you do, or do you just kind of do it of your own volition?
Depends on how bad the spirit is. You really want a bad spirit roaming around freely?
See, that sounds like the they wanted it argument a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Freak?
You know what? I think Freak is kind of saying, like, they were asking for it.
That's exactly what it sounds like to me. Freak, it sounds like you're making a case that
I'm a
ghosts-
serial killer, but I kind of want to stick around. I love looking at gardens.
Right.
And you just roll in, you're like,
Oh, you murdered children. Want a peanut?
right,
I
like some
don't
crusader.
Andre the Giant joke.
Oh, come on, man. You're like a dead ringer for the guy. Not literally dead, though. Right? You are alive, right, Freak?
I believe it is time for me to go.
All right, fine. Get out of
Go?
here. You
Where?
bloody booper.
like we're in the middle of the river.
Yeah.
There are lifeboats, you idiot.
Well, how many? Like, what if something happens? You can't
Enough
just take
from
them.
me. Goodbye.
Dude, you're taking 3. I don't care how big you are. You only get 1.
Hasta la vista, bitches.
Fine, I'm taking your
See you later, you dick.
Thanks a lot. They're not asking for it, by the way. You can't just do that.
You better not be lying about these goddamn ghosts.
Yeah, man, those are really starting to make a dent in the front of your
I
neck.
have a whole fucking brigand on my chest.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're spreading. It's like a legion. Oh man. Hey, you know what that seems like to me? I think Freak just fucking got some revenge on you. I think he's been...
For what?
I think he's been playing a prank. I think that was like a whole 180. I think he just reversed psychology.
This is a pretty piss poor prank.
It really is. But I mean, doesn't it seem like a Freak thing to do?
Like no one was bitten. Where's the humor?
I mean, yeah, nobody was bitten, but I mean, like, Jesus, man, look at that chest. And you don't know when those are going to go away.
They're supposed to go away when I pee.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. But could be part of the prank, too. No one knows anything about what's going on with you right now.
I think he
except
just knows
for
that I
Freak.
have an abnormally large bladder and it takes me weeks to pee.
Yeah. So you're going to be stuck with those possibly for weeks. You hear that? Are they...
Wait a minute.
What I'm hearing is a little chorus of voices coming from your chest. They're starting to sing. Whisper sing. You hear that?
I mean, I've been hearing them sing sea shanties for the last hour, but... No, I was going to say, what's that big blinky light there?
Ooh. Is that a buoy or is that...
I think that's a Coast Guard.
Oh, boy. We're going to have to... we got to get back to land. Yeah, all right, best of luck with you fellas. I'm going to get out of here. I'm jumping ship, all right?
What?
Enjoy the absinthe.
What? How do you do it? There's no lifeboats.
I'll bring my own, right? I always bring my own. It's in my back pocket. Pull this, and here we go. Peace! Scummy, come on, man. Don't...
Well, there's no explaining this. How about you and I take a little trip?
Yeah.
Let's go to what's left? Starboard?
Starboard's left. Starburst is left.
All right, boys. Sing up.
Sing away. Sing us a sea songs. That's nice.
I love to be swallowed whole inside of this big-ass man.
Hey! That's nice. Well, that's fun. They settled in.
I want to caress his innards with ease, and I will jack off as much as I please.
Stop.
Oh no, they're doing it. Ew. That's horrible. How can they even do it? They're just heads. Oh, they're spittling.
Why?
They're spittling all over to simulate
Why
it.
does fate hate me
This
so
is really bad.
much?
This is actually this prank is this is better than anything I'd ever expected from Freak.
No.
This is pretty funny. This is kind of funny. Okay, well anyway, before this concert gets out of hand and the Coast Guard kills us, it comes at night. Fun, scary movie, not a monster movie. It's a paranoia flick. Evil Genius on Netflix, docu-series about the 2003 pizza delivery bank robbery guy in Erie, Pennsylvania. Very worth watching. Definitely check that out. And what was the first thing you talked about?
It was God of War.
God of fucking War.
God of 4. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Don't go out of your way.
I think it's worth renting.
Okay.
Give it a shot. See if you like it.
And if you want to keep it, then
Good for you.
there you go. That's your thing. But
That's your opinion, and it's your right to say that.
yeah, there you go. And it's our right to flee the Coast Guard because
It's also my right to actually finish right here.
Oh my God, no! That's a leader. That leader, he's got like a little beard. That's fucked up.
I be Boylebeard.
Oh, come on, you pirate ghost! What are you actually trying to like finish on Greg's chest right now?
I'm almost done.
Please
Oh,
don't.
stop!
I can't.
Why are you
stop
moving like
them.
that?
I
Ew.
can't stop them.
All right, this has gone on way too long. Hey, thank you for sticking around with us. Happy 6th month. We really appreciate it. Boxcar Buddies at Boxcar Buddies Podcast at gmail.com and on all the social media sites. Check us out: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. And thanks for listening.
Wait, I don't think I should have done that. Oh fuck! The Coast Guard's getting
Now
faster.
they're coming faster. Here we go. There we go.
There
There we go. Sing us out of here, boys.
To rub your mentaties.
Throttle up. Here we go. Really not moving nearly as fast as I thought we were going to. This ship is not. Hey, what's your problem, man? Your boat just isn't really doing us any favors. Yeah, okay, you're gonna have to deal with the Coast Guard once we're out of here.
All right,
okay?
you know what? We need to lighten the load, baby.
Yep, that's right. Means it's your time to go. Later.
Bye.
Bye.